What's happening, man? Y'all know what time it is. It's top notch. And we back with after the weigh-in. We're less than 24 hours away from one of the most epic cards in boxing history. And I can't wait to break it down for you. Let's get into it.
I got a load of stress, trapping this road to success. Learn how to cope with less. You just gotta hope for the best. All I know is press on toward tomorrow. Or I was chosen more. Been there from the start. Yeah. Press on, won't nobody vouch. Press on, no need to pout. Press on, they counted you out. Press on, they did it for clout. Press on, you at your best when it's stress on. Turn up the heat, press on.
Yes, sirski. Yes, sirski. Y'all know what time it is. It is time for Rehab Season 4. Rehab Season 4. Look, when you don't know which one it is, you just say both. You dig? Listen, y'all know what time it is, man. One of the most epic fight cards we've seen in a while. We got David Benavidez versus Anthony Yard. We got Haney. Debo Dev Haney versus Brian Norman Jr., aka the Assassin 2, knocking out everything lately viciously. Look, we got Abdullah Mason, Bam Rodriguez. This card is absolutely stacked, man. But if I had to say so myself, to me, the main event is this fight right here. Brian Norman Jr. versus Debo Dev Haney. Listen, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to speak it boldly, and I'm going to say it proudly. To me, Brian Norman Jr. has an opportunity to be the next boxing megastar. Everything about this young man just oozes throwback fighter. To me, he embodies the shift of what boxing used to be, what it has recently become, and shifting into a elevated form. Because what we were seeing boxers start to avoid certain fights so they could keep the O. Everybody became obsessed with keeping the O. But back in the day, everybody wanted to be the man, so they was willing to fight the man to prove they was the man. It's that with this new age twist. And to me, he embodies that like we have never seen before. Just listen to this young man talk and tell me, do you not think he's a throwback fighter?
We spoke there a moment ago about your power. It's something that everyone's highlighting, especially going into this fight. Now, we've seen in other fights for you before that your power has been devastating. You've got those knockouts. You call it knockout of the century from your last fight. But do you ever think about the other side of it? You know, we saw about your previous opponent lost his memory for 6 weeks. You know, it was a bit touch and go in the ring for a little bit. Do you ever think about the other side of what that power can have, and does it change your perception on, you know, having that power?
It makes me want to use it even more, and this is why I say that. If my last opponent could do the same thing to me, I bet he would have. If he can knock 6 weeks out of me and out of my memory, things of that nature, 10 times out of 10, I bet he would have. So really, there's no remorse in this game. It's a cold game, it's a cold world, and that's the beauty of it all. Really, the power's in your hands. As in, your whatever you want to do tomorrow matters today. You take control. So I can't hold myself back because of somebody else. Because I know for a fact, if they had the opportunity, they don't care if I die. Of course, they'll come on these cameras and say, oh man, I feel so sorry for him, I feel so bad for him. But guess what?
This man is talking about dying in the ring. This man got vicious intentions. This is shout out to Showbiz, who coined Brian Norman Bates, who coined him as Brian Norman Bates, aka Mr. 6 Weeks. You talking about making people lose their memory for 6 weeks. Vicious knockout power. The man did not know his name for 6 weeks.
Day life goes on. I'm dead and gone. Just that easy, just that quick. So, hey, it is what it is. I got to go out here and get mine.
This man is a throwback fighter with a little extra sauce on it and a little extra twist. We talking about violent intentions. And I think that clash with someone like Devin Haney, who, let's be honest, Devin Haney is one of the few fighters in our time who we could say really resembles a Floyd Mayweather. Some would say him and Shakur would probably be your only two that really embodies that slick ability to do what they do in there and hit and not get hit and move around. But lately, Devin Haney has been showing some serious signs of trauma. We got to be honest about this. Lately, Haney's been showing some serious signs of trauma. I mean, let's be honest. In the Ben Rodriguez fight, he was scared to let his hands go. You could literally see the effects. It's like he could remember crawling around that ring during the Ryan-Garcia fight. And this is a man who has literally said on his own that he's losing confidence. Check it out.
Confidence is one of the things that people are talking about. The question mark is out there about whether you lost confidence after the Ryan Garcia fight. Do you feel like you did lose confidence, or do you think you've just changed now?
Yeah, I mean, I think both. I think that, of course, after a fight, with Ryan, and a fight that was initially a loss, of course, you lose confidence, you get discouraged.
You lose confidence and you get discouraged. This man is sitting here admitting to us that he lost confidence and he got discouraged. And yes, to me, the small percentage of ostracine did not aid Ryan Garcia from doing what he did. To me, Devin Haney still has one loss. I can never unsee him crawling around the ring.
You can say that Ryan Garcia is a one-trick pony, that he's only got the left hand when the left hand is there.
You know what I mean? And so when you really take that in and you process that, we know that lately he's been going by this term Debo Deb. He's been going by Debo Deb. And I get it, I understand. But let's be honest. We got to be honest. What happened to Debo?
That's what I'm talking about. That's my dog.
It wasn't pretty for Debo Deb. It was not pretty for Debo at all. So we got to be honest about it. We got to process this thing, and we got to look at this fight and break it down from a really, really, really intelligent, analytical understanding. Listen, it's a lot of people out there, they fall in love with the names. They like, okay, look, you got to look at the resume. Look at what, Devin Haney did. He went over there. He went to Australia, and he fought Kambosos twice. Do you really think Kambosos would last 4 rounds with a Brian Norman Jr.? Yes, Dev dominated Kambosos, but Brian Norman Jr. stops Kambosos viciously. I mean, viciously. Let's process it even more. Let's think about it. Because remember, Debo Deb.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my dog.
It didn't end up pretty for Debo. Debo ended up getting hit with a brick. And we know that young kid, Brian Norman Jr., got some vicious dynamite in them hands. They feel like you getting hit with bricks. Let's keep it 100. And with that being said, I'm going to break down and give my analysis and what I think you should do if you're a betting person, how you should pick. I'm going to give my analysis first and foremost on this fight, and then I'll break down and give you a pick for the rest. But before we get into it, after the weigh-in is a new show we're going to be doing here on Top Notch Boxing. And listen, if you haven't done so, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We need you. We need your support. We love for you to be a part of the family. Listen, I'm one of the hottest ones coming. I'm going to be the rookie of the year in this boxing thing. I'm going to be the rookie of the year and the MVP. If you understand what I'm talking about, we're going to turn this thing up and we're going to keep getting better. But with that being said, this is my favorite new segment of After the Weigh-In. It's called Violated. And I believe somebody's about to get violated.
¿Pero qué ha pasado?
I believe somebody's about to get violated. I believe we're going to see a knockout so vicious that, as Brian Norman Jr. said it, knockout of the decade. it's gonna be on those type of levels. And I believe it's gonna be Devin the Dream Haney. I believe we're gonna see Haney get hit with a vicious shot that knocks him out cold. And I believe he's gonna have to leave on a stretcher. Honestly. And I'm gonna tell you why. This is why. I do not believe Devin Haney is the same fighter we are used to him being. I believe he is deeply traumatized. I believe he's scared to mix it up. And I believe they're going to plan to move around and box from the outside. And I do not believe they have properly estimated the athleticism and the ability to cut the ring off because of that athleticism of Brian Norman Jr. A lot of people say, well, look at Regis Prograis. Look, he was a power puncher. He was a good fighter. Yes, I like Regis Prograis. Shout out to Regis. Rougarou. But if you ask me, Brian Norman Jr. knocks Regis Prograis out in less than 5 rounds. Puts him to sleep. Brian Norman Jr. is a stronger fighter, a harder hitting fighter, a more athletic fighter. He has a better reach. He's a bigger fighter than Regis will ever be. And we've already seen what Debo Dev, right? We've already seen what Debo Dev looked like when he fights a fighter his size or bigger.
You know, you can say that Ryangarcia is a one-trick pony, that he's only got the left hand. When the left hand is...
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't what you want to look at, to say the least. You feel me? But I do believe who's going to win here is the fans. The fans are going to be the ones who win. Because we're gonna have a night of boxing where we could probably see a knockout, a vicious knockout in every single match. I can see it easy. And this is how I'll slice it up. And I'll break down my analysis. I believe that Devin Haney still hasn't fixed the issue. When he throws his jab, he always drops his right hand. And he lunges into the jab. This is something he has been doing since he was a young kid. This is something he did all throughout the amateurs. He's done all throughout the pros. What you'll see is you'll see them trying to fix it. But here's the thing. You'll see him repeatedly keep the hand up in practice. But one thing you can't change is he's accustomed to doing it in real life time. It's something he's done for so long. No amount of practice is going to get that out overnight. And as we seen in his last fight, same thing. He was still doing gun shy and still lunging with the jab and dropping the right hand. And we know how that got him against Ryangarcia.
That means he's winning. Beating the horn, that means he's winning. And, I just think, Haney. Yep. Shocking.
Shot by Norman. Oh!
You see, that is going to be the very thing that gets Devin Haney laying out being 110% Debo Dev.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my dog.
I promise you, you're going to see him reach. And young Brian Norman's going to teach because he's explosive and he's athletic. He can get into a punch and close that distance very, very fast. We've seen it multiple times. And I believe that they are underestimating his ability to do so. And that's why Devin Haney, to me, will be the one who gets violated. So listen, let's break this down and let's keep it real.
You know, you can say that Ryangarcia is a one-trick pony, that he's only got the left hand. When the left hand is...
We should see Devin hit the deck, and this is my pick for the fight. I believe Devin hits the deck twice. I believe he's gonna with the warrior in him, he's gonna get up from the first shot. But I believe Brian Norman Jr. finish him off with a vicious left hook or a vicious uppercut. And he's literally going to be out cold. That's my opinion for this epic showdown between him and between him and Brian Norman Jr. Let's get to the rest of the card. David Benavidez, Anthony Yarde. Here's my opinion. This is what I think. You're talking about, when you look at Anthony Yarde, you're talking about a guy who started late, but is literally gifted. He has only God-given abilities when it comes to his power. The dude can hit. He will put you to sleep. He's also very athletic. The thing is, he came late to boxing. This is my analysis for this fight. I believe we get 2 of these fights. I believe Anthony Yarde takes the belts, and David Benavidez has to come back and try to take him in a rematch. I believe Benavidez will be winning the fight through 7-8 rounds, but it'll be a close fight. And I believe that Anthony Yarde is going to sucker him into a slugfest in which he gets caught and goes to sleep. I believe he's met his match because we've seen he hasn't been the same fighter at this weight class. He hasn't been the same fighter. And so with that being said, I believe in this fight, he's going to taste some power that he's not tasted yet. And I believe Anthony Yarde has the athleticism to land exactly what needs to be landed. And I believe he knocks out David Benavidez and stops him. We'll get a rematch. That's my opinion. For the next fight, I'm going to keep it short. I'm going with Man Rodriguez, and I'm going with Abdullah Mason. No slight to the other guys, but I know Bam Rodriguez and I know Abdullah Mason a little bit better. I've watched the other guys, but you never really know with the competition. We know how that go. You know? We all know how that go. And so with that being said, I'm kind of like, I'm definitely going with Abdullah Mason. I think the skill set, the ability. I don't know if he gets the stop or not, but here's my pick of the night. Take Brian Norman Jr. to get the knockout victory on Devin Haney within 7 rounds. I give it 7 rounds. 7 rounds and it's over with. That's just my pick. Listen, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope y'all like what we're doing. We're going to continue to get better, man. This is the first one. We stepping back up. We coming back in. If you've already been subscribed, salute. I love you. I promise you we finna come like never before. If you haven't done so, get down in the comments, man. Tell us how you feel. Tell us what you thought. Give me your breakdown. Who you think gonna win? Who you think not? What's your analysis? We would love to hear you down in the comments, and I'm always engaged back. You understand what I'm saying? If you haven't done so, subscribe. We would love to have you be a part of the family, man. And so with that being said, man, as always, man, we keep it right. We keep it funky. We keep it fresh. We keep it boxing. And we always keep it top notch. With that being said, we out. Blessings, and we less than 24 hours away from the fight of the century. Whoo! I cannot wait. Best card ever in boxing. See you at Rehab Season 4. Peace.